Tonight, Liam looks for Yellow Rangers, Luke finds a mystery box that we discover is something so rare, the internet doesn't even know it exists.
So finding this with this particular box is super, super tough, so we're gonna dive into it.
Guys, Chance here at Second Chance Toys, and we did just thankfully go through our Power Ranger stuff that we had in the back. It was a long time coming, it's been quite a few months, but our Power Rangers guy, Liam, is back in town. One of the things that we have is pretty special. We were able to complete it with a collection that came in, So
we just got this Power Ranger set in recently, and good Lord, is it difficult to price. It's like a ghost online. However, we have a secret weapon that I think will be able to give me some help. It's a comeback of biblical proportions. It's like the Green Ranger returning as the White. You see, if you're going to discuss the complexity of the Power Rangers, you don't need an amateur. You need a specialist. Liam is back in the building, and his brain isn't a brain at all. It's a walking Megazord.
So my history starts with the franchise probably around 2006 when I was a kid, as you could guess. I was flipping through TV channels with my dad as a kid. So Mystic Force was the active season on TV at the time. Came across the channel, caught 30 seconds of it before he flipped the channel. And I was like, go back. What was that? So when it comes to Power Rangers, you guys may or may not know, Megazords and Morphers are our #1 sellers. Sometimes Megazords and or Morphers can be hard for us to get and or keep for a long enough period, but I try as hard as I can to keep it restocked. For Megazords, something new to the case is a complete Dragonzord that works with an instruction manual, as well as we've got a complete Tigerzord in there. We've got a Thunder Megazord mostly complete, a couple different odd end pieces here. We've updated some of the Ranger figures here, some of the vintage ones, turbo figures from the original line, as well as some new Lightning collection. Something else really cool that I wanted to point out that's not inherently Power Rangers, but really cool, is we were able to acquire an original Beetleborgs Beetle Bonder. Beetleborg stuff is not anything we get like super often, but of course, being a Power Rangers fan, watching reruns of it growing up, I was a huge fan, and just seeing this toy was always one of my favorites, so. I want to show you guys something really cool in our back stock. It's not quite ready to go out yet. Obviously, Power Rangers I get very excited about, but when we get stuff that you don't see every day, Power Ranger wise, that's when I get really excited. Of course, everyone is going to be familiar with these. These are the original Automorphing Rangers that came out in 1993. Of course, the original release had Trini as the Yellow Ranger for season 1, but for season 2, when they changed the actors, they had to make replacement head molds for the different actors. This is the first time since I've been here that we have had one of these in the store, and it's really cool for me to see. Aisha was the Ranger that came after Trini in the original series, and Bandai ended up doing different head sculpts for Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. So this figure is literally the exact same with just a different sculpt. These figures were lower in production numbers. Finding these guys is really difficult. Everything else about the figure is completely the same, including the weapons. However, we are missing a power dagger, so until we acquire another one, she will sit back here with our back stock, but still something really cool I wanted to show our Power Ranger fans out there. Something super unique and rare that we also have in the store is this guy right here. Some of you may be familiar with this, some of you may not. This is of course, the Time Force Megazord. This is a 2-pack combo. This is not anything that you haven't seen before if you follow Time Force, however, it's the box that makes this incredibly rare. This 2-pack, I believe, was a Toys R Us exclusive back in the day in 2000. So finding this with this particular box is super tough, so we're gonna dive into it.
So before we cut to the jump, we want to ask our employees an important question. If you had to choose a Power Rangers toy in the store, what would you choose out of the case that is your favorite?
I'd probably choose this Legacy Saban sword. It's really cool, it makes fun noises. The blade unleashes itself and the weight to it's really nice. If I was a kid, I'd probably be playing with this thing all the time.
If I was going to choose something that we've got, I would choose this Phantom Ranger from Power Rangers Turbo and Power Rangers in Space. Nobody knows who he is in the show. I only know that because Liam told me. I'm not really a Power Rangers guy, but this guy really fits in well with just about any other kind of like sci-fi sort of like property. Like you could put him with Star Wars, you could put him with Star Trek, you could put him with Marvel.
We have some great stuff in our Power Rangers case right now, but if I were to pick something, it would probably be Serpentera. We don't have one out at this current moment. We've had plenty in the store in the past 5 years, but the way that I think about it, because I'm not into Power Rangers personally, is what could it be applied to in a different toy line that I enjoy? So what if the Mandarin were working with Fing Fang Foom in Marvel Comics and Fing Fang Foom told him to make a henchman? Boom, Serpentera.
So I was asked here if I could have just one Power Ranger toy on my shelf out of everything that we currently have here in the store, what would it be? So of course, I picked the original Dragonzord here. It's got the manual, it's got the little tail tip piece that's, you know, always missing and it still works. And for me, it's the Green Ranger was always my favorite. He was the reason I grew out my hair. So there's a lot of sentimental to that particular character, but the Dragonzord's awesome. I mean, it's like Godzilla, but like a robot. So it's like Mecha Godzilla, but it shoots lasers, and the Green Ranger has a flute, and it's just like, it's just the epitome of awesomeness for me.
All right, man, so I got this in. I haven't been able to find hardly anything about it. There's like 5 listings on eBay I could find.
5 listings, not 4, not 10, 5 in the entire digital universe. This combo pack is so elusive, it makes a shiny Pokemon look common.
2 of them are from like years ago. Only 3 of them are active. So you're the Power Rangers guy. Tell me what this is, go through this, give me some info.
Cool, yeah, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open it up here and I'm gonna just verify that all the pieces are here and just kind of talk about it as we go. So of course, we wanna be very careful here. So the foam's also in pretty good shape. As you'll see with the vintage Megazords over time, I guess sometimes, you know, you'll see pieces of the corner of the foam snap off. It's got the inserts as well. So, I mean, right off the bat, it's looking like this thing was almost probably never played with, or if so, the kid that had this was very delicate with it. The Ziploc baggie here that has all of the little blades and different pieces, and the chrome is extremely shiny and
Yeah,
again,
that looks good.
and again in great shape. So whoever had this previous either, you know, had the intention of, you know, keeping it nice for the future, or maybe this was one that just, I guess, didn't sell or something.
So does the foam affect the styrofoam, does that affect the price?
It can, depending. For something like this and with this level of rarity, especially with the box, you want the box and the foam inserts to be probably, you know, as close to nice as you can get. Obviously, like, you won't really want to display the foam, so it's going to sit in the box. So even if the foam was kind of damaged, and I guess it also just depends on the buyer and a certain collector. However, this probably makes more of a big deal. The original instruction sheet, along with the sticker sheet, which looks like it's not fully been used as well.
Yeah, like half applied.
Yeah, half applied. And again, with this instruction manual, it's in great shape. I mean, there's some, you know, little discoloration here, but again, with a lot of the old manuals, from what I've seen, is they yellow over time. They'll crinkle, they'll fold, kids will throw them away, or they're ripped, you know, and it's kind of the parents sometimes that puts these to the side that says, well, if my kid can't figure it out, you know, I need to be able to, because back then in 2000, internet was very limited. So you really did have to rely on the instructions, or at least a lot of parents did, to be able to, you know, figure the Zord out.
Yeah, well, I'll say this is really impressive. Like, I wasn't able to find a whole lot, but I was able to find out, like, it's over 25 years old. So to be that old and still be in the condition it looks like it's in, that's pretty awesome.
Right here, this is the time shadow. Again, this thing is just like super, super, super clean. The chrome looks really good on it. So the back plastic here is a lot like gold plastic, and just over time it becomes very, very brittle and very fragile. It's just something, I guess, the chemical makeup of those kinds of plastics just over time just kind of wither away. We have this piece as well, this little mask piece. This is always missing, or the clips are broken on it. Again, this is the standard release Megazords for, you know, each perspective one here. So It's again the normal release. Like you would buy the Time Shadow separately than you would the Time Force Megazord. And I believe this is a Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack that they did. So the production numbers of this were probably a lot lower than the actual Zords separately.
With Time Force being one of the more popular series, I'm guessing that this should sell pretty well.
There's always going to be people looking for this era. This era, the Saban era, is always going to be the more popular era. But with heavy hitter seasons like Time Force, this is a piece that would for sure go.